Liz, Paras, it's so nice to be with both of you. I wanted to start just talking about your characters' friendship because Mary Magdalene and Matthew have a beautiful friendship in The Chosen. Can you just tell me more about that? Like, how did it kind of flourish? I don't know, just, yeah.
Yeah, I think from the beginning, they've been such outsiders in society, and I think they, from the beginning, recognized that in each other, that they have been sort of cast aside for a lot of their lives, and there's just I think a tenderness between them because of that. There's like an understanding because of that, and just like this sensitivity that I think Matthew has amongst the men that I think that draws Mary to him.
Yeah. And for Matthew, you know, as he says in season 2, she's unusually pleasant to look at. But I think they connect on their past, and they have this connection, wanting to grow in their faith and keep deepening that. So they share a lot of similarities, and they are each other's foundation and support. And Matthew doesn't have that immediately, so he was kind of looking towards the followers and disciples to see who wasn't. It was, you know, Mary and Philip, and you know, so that's how the connection is built. And then you see this friendship kind of blossom throughout it. And I loved what we did last season with the flash forward, where Matthew presents his book,
Right.
and then
the number one
forces
person.
Mary to read her writing, which is so sweet. Yeah, I also think that both of them don't really have family. And although Matthew goes through a journey of like returning to his family, there's a sense of like some abandonment in their lives that I think they become each other's family. And it's so nice to see them later in life. Yeah. They're still family.
I think when you have a shared lived experience like Matthew and Mary do, there's a lot of you just understand each other because you know what those obstacles, those ups and downs feel like, and you know how those lows can feel, and so that's why you find someone that can lift you up in those moments. And so that's their connection.
For sure, and I know the fans love like the friendship there too. We see in season 4, Mary is starting to kind of pick up on what's going on. How, I know you can't say much about season 5, but how does that kind of continue and carry over?
Yeah, at the beginning of season 5, Jesus announces publicly that he will die, and I think a lot of the followers either don't want to believe that or hope that it's symbolic some way. But I think because Mary's been paying attention, she knows that it's going to happen. There's no like actual confirmation, but like she senses it and sees the signs, and so at a certain point during the season, she wants to try to help. Nobody at this point knows that it's inevitable and must happen. So, you know, when you find out that your best friend's going to die, probably at the hands of, you know, the Pharisees or the Romans or something, like you want to do anything you can to stop that from happening. So she's on a mission this season to keep it from happening. And I think there's this realization that the Pharisees don't understand him and are getting so upset and taking things so personally because of what he's saying. And so I think there's this hope that maybe if they do understand him, that maybe they won't call for his death. So I think there's a lot of at play. And so she's kind of putting herself into more of the political and cultural dynamics in Jerusalem, which is a little frightening, but also she's doing it out of faith and just seeking, and she finds. I won't tell you who, but yeah. Oh, is that is that a spoiler? No.
No,
okay.
That's not. No, I like that. She's, you know, Mary has this touch where she can see things, because when we're doing when we're walking into the triumphant entry in Jerusalem, like you had that moment where you get it, and all of us, the disciples, are trying to figure out what to take from that. And with Matthew, you see that he is very factual, so he's trying to look for facts and evidence, so he's not processing it completely, but he's seeing his friends have this, you know, reaction, so he's trying to pick up on something. And you see that this season, in season 5, because there's a lot of chaos, turmoil, spiraling amongst the disciples and followers of, you know, what's happening with Jesus and his message.
Yeah, for sure. Well, thank you so much both for your time. I really appreciate it.
Thank
you.
you, Francesca.
Nice seeing
It was
you
fun to see you.
in person.